Welcome back to the channel. I am TheSunnyMachine, and this is FixSunIt. FixSunIt. I don't know. I came up with this FixSunIt brand for me while repairing electronics and playing with old stuff, retro stuff, trying to fix stuff. So I've made a new channel, YouTube channel, dedicated towards fixing things, repairing electronics. I don't know how often I'm going to update or make these videos, but for a while I'm going to see how it goes, and we'll be starting this video with repairing a Sega Genesis Model 2. Now, actually, this one doesn't really need a lot of repair. It does have an issue when I plug in a Sega 32X and I play certain games. One of the ones most specifically was, I think, Sonic, one of the Sonic games, or the Knuckles game. Also, it may just be the Sonic, one of the Sonic games just doesn't run right. Something goes weird with it. It like hangs. I don't remember exactly. It's been a very long time. But other than that, it will play the rest of the games. I've tested it, other games for a long time, and it didn't have any problems. I was getting a little bit of buzzing with the Sega 32X, and so this was originally my console that I was using for the Sega 32X. And then I have another one, and I repaired that one, and it seemed to function better. So I've got that one in my setup. And this one, we're going to try recapping it and see if that helps. But the first thing I want to do is actually plug it in and make sure it's still all working. So we'll do that. So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a brand new channel. This is my first video on YouTube, showing you my progress learning how to micro solder and repair things. I am streaming this live on Twitch, so if you want to come ever hang out and see what's going on there, go to TheSunnyMachine on Twitch. I should put a graphic up for that or something, but there'll be a link in the description. So for this, I want to show you guys that it is working. There we go. Just took me a few clicks, right? So as you can see, it is working. I could plug a controller in and show you guys that it does work, but I've tested it. I played on this console for a long time. So the console does work. Maybe we should just kind of see real quick if the Sega, not the 32X, but maybe the Sonic game will hang like it was. I want to try that real quick. So let me grab a controller. I'll show you that the controller is working, and we'll go from there. Yeah, it was. Oh, it's running now. Well, either way, we're going to triple bypass the console. I bought a triple bypass, so that'll fix it if there is a sound issue. I'm not even getting any sound through this capture card. Like, I'm not getting anything, which is kind of odd. Maybe there's no sound? So we do have sound. It's not freezing anymore, which is good. I think it was only with the 32X plugged in. So I'm pretty sure when I combine the 32X and then I try to play Sonic and Knuckles is when we had problems. Now, I could test that, but it would take me a few minutes to swap out my console. It does work. So I'm when I sell this on eBay or give it away on the channel, depending on how things go. So we'll get these unscrewed. Genesis is actually really easy to take apart, but I've never recapped a console, so This is going to be interesting. I'm not worried about the soldering part. The most challenging part about all of this is actually, if there's anything annoying about my stream setup, I want you guys to tell me too, by the way. Try not to lose your screws. So the iFixit kits have, if they have this cover, you can use it as an organizer, which is kind of nice. Being organized is the most important thing, and what I'm most nervous about is that I don't really understand capacitors. I don't understand their values. I do know that you can swap out higher ones as long as something matches. I don't think it's the voltage. I don't know. So like, this is a whole learning process for me to try and figure out. So we should be able to get into this now. Just lift this off. So there's the cover. So then once we're inside, we've got like a handful of more. You should be able to use the same bit. Phillips head screws. These ones are a bit smaller. So we're just gonna pop these out so we can get this motherboard out of here. It's going to be impossible, and it's a bad idea to do any kind of soldering inside of the housing. If it's really quick and you know you can get away with it, sometimes it's okay, but not for today. We got to replace a ton of capacitors. What's the worst device or console you guys have ever opened? I know mine. 100%. Very long time. So we've got the RF shielding. So all these little capacitors are what we're going to replace, and they all look like relatively in good condition. To be fair, this probably doesn't even, wow, for being like 20 years old, it doesn't even seem like it needs a recap at all. I was having problems with Sonic and Knuckles with the 32X plugged in, so who knows? Has this had work done before? We got to get set up for the actual soldering process, and I got to get some very important things that we got to get set up. I got to get my fume extractor, which isn't a great one, but it'll at least get the job done. I got to swap my fans in my window so the air is blowing out of my room instead of in. This is a really good solder braid, so we're going to definitely be using that. I'm going to need flush cutters. Yeah, so the most difficult console for me, taking apart, dealing with, is the Nintendo Wii. That thing is atrocious to deal with. It is really, really frustrating. There's so many screws, it's absurd. It's actually a nightmare. Do not recommend, if you aren't highly organized, to take apart the Nintendo Wii. MD2VA0. Just make sure our cap kit says that. So it says MD2VA0. So I've got a giant cheat sheet. So I wonder how we should approach this. If I should take them all out, just take each cap out. Let's see if we can find it's 100 UF. 47. Oh, they're printed on there funny. 16 volt 220. So that's definitely not it. 10 UF 50 volt. So I think I can just use these as long as the voltage can be higher. Is that what it is? I could Google it to be sure. 50 volt, 10 UF. These are all 10 UF. So 10, 10, 10. Are these all going to be 10? So the voltage can be higher as long as the UF matches capacitance. There's like this little plastic thing here, and then there's some capacitors underneath it, and they look rusted. Are they rusted? Or is that just glue? It's just like some kind of glue. Oh, weird. Interesting. Okay, so do we remove one at a time and replace one at a time? If we're gonna... Or should I just remove them all and then replace them? I feel more comfortable since it's my first time doing like one at a time, I think. Going through this list. So let me actually move this to an Excel spreadsheet, or I guess a Google Drive sheet. So we're going to start with capacitor CE1, which is this guy right here. Let's see. You guys can see it there, CE1. It's this little guy. So, hopefully I don't burn the heck out of myself here. Pull these out. Ever in my arms. I got it out most of the way, but the solder's not melting on this side. So let's grab some tweezers. See if we can get it out. Let's put some tweezers underneath. Let me see if I can get you guys a decent view with this as well. So I'm just going to kind of put the tweezers underneath, heat up the leg. Let's see if we can grab just the leg. Maybe I will have to use the solder sucker. That one's mostly out, actually. Is that one out? No. Let's go up on the temperature. Boost to 410 real quick. Dang it. Let's get some flux to help with the flow of solder. I might have to add solder actually to get it out. Use this cheap flux. We're going to take our time with this. There's no rush. Okay, that one's out. Now, we just need to get the other side. People do this with hot air too. There, it's out. Easy peasy. So I'll put the spent cap there. Let's see if we've got enough of a hole to go through. No, probably not. I mean, I could force the way through. So the negative, yeah, the negative is the striped leg. So it's the shorter leg. So it looks like positive's on the left here for this one. There's the positive. This one's the negative. So we need to go in this way. I could just try to heat it up and feed it through. It'd be better to clean the solder out, but it would be better to just clear these, I think. I'm gonna be clearing them in the future here. This will be a way easier. This one's gonna be. Maybe I should trim them before I put it in. That would also work. So now at this point, I should be able to heat up and pull the legs through with tweezers. Alright, that's working. It's not great. Make sure I don't destroy the traces here nearby. This actually would work better with like pliers, to be honest. I need a better grip. Yeah, I'm gonna try and clear the holes. I just have really bad luck trying to clear the holes, to be honest. In general. But this will be a lot easier if I do it that way. Alright, let's see where we're at. Okay. It's not quite in far enough, but we're getting there. Maybe a little more flux. There we go. That's good. There we go. Perfect. Alright, we've got our first capacitor replaced. Let's get flush cutters. Actually, I'm going to add solder to it. Not bad, though. Not bad. So let's just add some solder. Beautiful. How nice and shiny do we look now? So there we go. Right there. There's our first capacitor replaced. Let's make sure we didn't destroy any traces in the process. I did kind of scratch it up a little bit. We may have to get the multimeter out and make sure we still got continuity on those traces, but we should. Where are we? You could tell it's mine because it's much shinier. Yeah, I did kind of scratch up the traces, so I'm not going to use that method. It means I'm going to have to use a solder sucker, so I may get out that other thing. Well, we could try wicking it away too. I should try that first, to be honest. So let's clean this up and see if there's any real damage. I don't have any solder mask. I may have to buy some. Yeah, we're going to have to test the trace there to make sure there's still continuity wherever it's going. So I did scrape off the solder mask. Those are some tiny traces. Tiny traces. Okay, I didn't break any traces, so we're good. I just scratched off the So we're gonna have to be careful with that, because I don't want to scratch up the. Beautiful. That's one. How long is it gonna take me to do all of them, do you think? It's gonna take a while. That's fine. I'm not gonna do that method again. So that's the first capacitor I've ever replaced. I guess the first through-hole capacitor I've ever replaced. I did technically replace the tiniest of capacitors when I did the Super NES, SNES Junior RGB mod for Voltar's RGB mod. That was crazy. I may freshen up the solder joints on this. This console originally, the power wasn't connected well, so I used like a really cheap soldering iron to just kind of flood cheap solder, and you can see it's even like not on there well. So we'll reflow that as well. Okay, 1 down, 31 to go. Seriously. All right, where's CE2? It's got to be nearby, right? $10 UF. 10 UF. Okay, so where is CE2? So here's CE3. CE21. Ah, CE2. Right here. Okay, so maybe I should just kind of desolder all of these at once, because that one's kind of like grouped up in the middle of all of these. Are these all 10 UF, 10 UF? $10 UF, 10 UF, 10, 10. These are all 10. These are all the same. So maybe I'll just pull all these off over here at once. Alright, let's try the solder wick method. So I'll start with C31. So I'm going to dip the wick into some flux to help the flow of the solder onto the thing. I'm going to boost the soldering iron for this to about 4. Look at that flux. That's a lot. We don't need that much. Alright, we're gonna cut. Oh, I put my freaking thumb in it, of course. Let's cut this off. Need tweezers for this. And then we need to find out where we're actually going here. So this bad boy here, right? Get some of that flux on there. Try not to breathe. Left hand is not functional for this. Ooh, that's working really good though. Let's see. This wick is really good. I got it from Northridge Fix. Sells really good stuff, so. Okay. Wow, that went pretty well considering I was using my left hand for the soldering. See, are you coming out? Maybe you have to bend the legs. There we go. Okay. Will you come out now? Ooh, we got it out. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see if we can clean this up a little bit more. Alright. Is that clear? Yep. We have a clear hole, which is going to make replacing it much easier. Pop that in. Okay, so yeah, this is going to work really well. Let's just pull them all out like that. Get ready for the next one here. I'm getting really lucky with the microscope camera. Holy crap. This is quite a process. I've never done this before. I was really nervous about it. I still am kind of nervous about it, to be honest. But not as nervous as I thought I would be. That's for sure. Okay, let's see if we can pop that guy out. There we go. Oh. So, we've got enough here to work with, I think. Stop blowing towards me. Sit down. Okay. Desoldering caps for the first time in my life. Super fun. Ah! I should be using tweezers because it's kind of burning my thumb. But it's all good. What's a little heat? Almost there. Shut up. Oh, if only I had a solder sucker. Like a real one. I don't want to destroy the via. Which I'm basically trying to do by mistake. See if we can get this out. Yeah, that's why you pay for repairs. Exactly. Well, I'm doing this to make money, I guess, you know. Let's be fair. I'm gonna have to check that. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to heat up from this side. We're going to have to check continuity on that. I kind of destroyed it on the other side. Let's look at it under the microscope. Yeah, that might be broken. It might still work, but I'll just have to make sure that the leg and this via here are making contact. This is working though, this stream setup. It's not bad. Not bad for my first time. Okay, that one came out a lot easier. Got tired of buying replacement stuff, to be honest. That's where I'm at. Just got tired of it. There we go. Yeah, this is the best luck I've ever had with that solder sucker. I've never been able to get it to work on newer stuff. Maybe it's because these vias are nice and big. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 off, and we've got 5 more to go. Man, this solder wick is so good. It's crazy. If you have the right amount of flux and a big enough tip, it will get it all. Okay, let's see if we can get these 2 out. Maybe I'll get faster at this, huh? Not quite. Boom. Are we out? Whole life. You're my whole life. Oop. Don't want to do that. Oh, it came out. Sweet. One more and then we can solder in this section. Let's get a little bit of flux paste. There we go. Last one. Takes forever, right? Alright, let's clean this up, put the new ones in, and then see if that one via Needs a wire. Maybe we should test the console. Huh? After this? Since this is my first time, we don't have to put it all together. We just have to test it, plug it in. Good soldering iron helps a lot. Good solder. Not that you can't do this with a cheap soldering iron, but it would be a lot harder. Did we miss two? Yeah, we did. We'll do those in a sec. Let's trim the legs. Flesh cutters. 1, 2. Okay, I don't want them going flying like that. Oh, it's still happening. I'll just grab them with my finger. Almost done. I gotta put the other 2 capacitors in, and then we will do a quick test to make sure the console still works. If it does, we can move on. If it doesn't, then I probably have to fix that trace. Let's plug in the console. I hope it doesn't explode. It was already on. Well, it's on, but I don't got no signal. Yes! Look at that. It works. I successfully started my recap. Nothing's getting hot. Oh, this is great. Not quite halfway done, but we're almost halfway done. The desoldering is what takes the most time. Pulling these things out. I wish there was a fast way to do it, but there really isn't. Not without risking knocking off a bunch of other components. Let's do the last of the 10 UFs. There's only a handful of those left. Let me get those out of the way if we can. So, C11, where are you? It's 21, 22, 15, 16, 19, 11. 11's up here. It's this guy. So, this guy. CE11. This wick is insane. So we didn't break that trace, which is good. Even though the via got kind of... Beautiful. Yeah, it's the one with legs. It looks like there's a capacitor here, but these are just like soldered in vias. So Maybe I should try the solder sucker as a straight up, just like, let's just heat it up and see how much we can get out. Yeah, this doesn't work as well. It only works with the wick. Yeah, it's better. It's better to do it with the wick. I think it may feel a little slower, but it's cleaner. It's less frustrating. That's for sure. Beautiful. Big Dreamer. Continue off. We are on track. Big Dreamer. There we go. Let's trim that bad boy. Oh no, I've soldered you down. The wick got soldered down. such a small capacitor, the original one, and this one's kind of big. So I bent it forward like this so that we have a little more room. I should get a little bit of solder on there. We'll do a power test, so stay tuned if you want to see it turn on or not. Appreciate you hanging out. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday, as wonderful as it can be. I'm still somewhat symptomatic, but we're getting there. I'm not quite as dizzy as I have been. Come on, baby, loosen up. There we go. Just wouldn't bend. The bulk of the capacitors, the cap replacement, we're probably about 60% done, 60 to 70%. Ooh, that's hot. Oof. Wow, this wick is so good, it's crazy. The desoldering gun would be more than what I spent in total. Rambo Lambo. Oh, hello. Ah, how you doing? Thank you for the sub. This is pretty easy compared to some of the other solder work I've done, but it's tedious, I guess. You have to be patient, and you have to like be happy with what you're doing in the moment and not try too hard to like race to the end, and just take it like one little moment at a time. Like, oh, I need more solder, I need more flux on this braid. That's the task I need to handle right now. It's not recapping and fixing the whole thing. I don't need to have the whole thing fixed. I need to clear out this solder hole, right? If you kind of take it just at one step at a time like that, it's so much easier. Like, just do the task in front of you, right? I didn't think that was clear. Too many people want to get to the end, and it's like, it's not that simple, right? I don't know. I'm not trying to be preachy. I'm trying to be helpful. But I am going to be putting these on YouTube and editing them and making some YouTube content around fixing stuff. So, okay, last capacitor of this variety. I'm trying to make it work. There aren't a lot of soldering streams on Twitch. I guess the coder. I tend to only watch his YouTube videos, though. I think this is better as YouTube content, to be fair. Is there any other solder streamers that you guys know of on Twitch? Alright, shall we test? The capture card. Ah, it's just the capture card. Of course it is. It still works. I'll put this here for the moment so we can point at him, because I'm going to lose that as soon as I start to put my eyes somewhere else. Alright. Let's do it. It's crazy. This wick is so crazy. I've got some other bigger soldering projects we're going to do in the future. This is dangerous what I'm doing. If I slip, I'm going to burn my arm. to be really careful. I mean, you got to be really careful no matter what you're doing, but that was a really bad angle to try and do that at. Is that out? It is. Boom. Okay, let's look at it. Make sure. 220 UF. I think that's microfarads. Should we use the solder sucker? Or should I just let this sit here until it sucks it all up? Just trust the smoke. The smoke tells you it's happening. Nope. Okay. Now I know why a lot of people use gloves for this. You get so much flux on you. Is this via burned out? I might have burned this via out. See if the solder went through the other side. Yeah, this via looks like it burned out. I'm not getting any solder to catch on it. It's all going on the leg. Is that ground? Looks like a ground plane. Nope, is there a little via there? I may have to tie a little wire to that leg. Well, I could probably just bend the leg over. Oh, that's hot. Let's make sure that's actually where that's going. See this leg here? I think that via is burned out, but this looks like a ground plane. But there is a little tiny, like, right there. There's a little via or something. So if we just take the leg and bend it down like that. It may act enough like a wire. We will see. Where'd my flush cutters go? Let's take a close look. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, the whole thing burned out. But I've got the leg actually soldered to the via there. Let's see if there's continuity between this leg. There is. Okay, still power's on. Let's see if we get video. Yep, it's working. Yep, everything looks good. I mean, I'm not going to do a controller test. So yeah, I burned that via out, but the trace it had another V on it right next to it, so I was able to just kind of like bridge it between the two. We lucked out though. It was a pretty easy repair considering. That solder just like came right up. Dang. Trying to get this thing out. Yes. Don't start breathing. It's gone terribly wrong. Wish you were with me. Beautiful. So I have my main YouTube channel, and then this is a new one. This is just for fixing stuff. I just started it. There's like no subscribers. Die down inside of me. Far away. Beautiful. This one, yes. Thank God the camera was pointing in the right spot. Hey, I was nice. Yeah, definitely watch Money Heist. Do you have Netflix? Don't watch the Korean one though. It's pretty bad actually. I guess it's good for a comparison laugh. Round and round. I mean, the Korean one's watchable. It's just not nearly as good. I would say watch the regular version first. All the way through. They don't even have the full like thing for the Korean. The Korean version's only got 6 episodes. The story kind of takes place in a different order. Yeah, the Spanish is, and don't watch it dubbed. Watch it subtitled. Because the Spanish is so good. Spanish is not that hard. It's not that different from English. And all the character names are in English. One more! We're almost there. If you stuck with me for this whole journey, that's crazy. It's neat having you guys here to watch me. Oh. The future is great and also scary. Last one. True. Flashbacks to Hume Lake. Okay. This side's gonna need a clean too. Time for the big test. Oh, there it is. Do we have sound? We've got sound. Well, console works. It's completely recapped.